Welcome to Disc Den. As you can see, we got hit by a serial furniture rearranger who has been scouring the neighborhood. They don't steal anything. They just move all the furniture.
Happened to Luann on the other side of the block
Oh, yeah.
earlier this week. We haven't even checked through all of it. It's possible they took something, but we haven't noticed anything. I gotta re-alphabetize all those records. I don't know if they took something.
Literally everything we own is in this pile in this one room. We kind of feel a connection with our record collection. That's in here somewhere. We hope.
If the rearranger is watching this right now, take a long look at yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself why you're doing this to people who take the effort to alphabetize their belongings.
Yeah, it's kind of sick to me. We got an exciting album to review this week. We're actually changing the format. Normally we review 2 records a week, but we're changing it to just one. Kind of due to like time constraints. I have less time these days due to my focus on chess. We have an exciting record today. We're gonna be discussing Popeye soundtrack, one of Robin Williams' first feature film roles as the iconic Popeye, and the great Shelley Duvall as Olive Oil, a fine film. And we'll get into the soundtrack. Yeah, anything you have to add, Christian?
Switching to one record per episode is also due to my schedule getting a little more full up. The Disc Den hotline is finally starting to pick up. I got a few callers. One guy, his name's Jerry. Oddly enough,
No kidding.
me and Jerry, we talked for a long time about Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It is going to be difficult not to develop a friendship with Jerry just because he has so many insightful things to say about Keith Emerson's synthesizer solos. But we're going to try to keep it as professional as we can. But on that note, let's talk about Popeye.
Yeah, this album's awesome. It's a great movie, one of my favorite movies. I've never seen a movie like this, which is based on a cartoon where they make it feel like a cartoon. You know, everyone's wearing these really big shoes. I love Robin Williams in this. He's one of my favorite actors, and this is one of his best. This is one of his best roles. He's got the cool prosthetic big Popeye arms, and his eyes squinted closed the whole time. He's got the pipe in his mouth, and you can't really understand anything he says, which is pretty funny for like a big movie. And the same goes for the songs, you know, it opens with, I am what I am, I am what I am. It's pretty hard to understand the lyrics.
I haven't seen the Popeye movie, so I don't really know much about the shoes or the prosthetic arms. I'm just trying to think of this as a music album. It's a vinyl record, as you can see. So if you put it on, it plays music, and it can be judged on that basis. The music is by Harry Nilsson, who, if you're not familiar, is a pop legend. He wrote some really classic songs like...
Yeah, you've seen Midnight Cowboy, you probably have. Everybody's Talking, the theme song to that movie, is Harry Nilsson. Famously never performed live. He only sat in the studio recording his beautiful voice. But yeah, with this one, he hadn't really done much musically for some years, but he kind of came out of a soft retirement to work on this film soundtrack. His voice isn't really on it, I don't think. It's all the actors singing. But I did get a chance to listen to the demo version of the album where he does sing on it, and you hear his voice, and it's really cool. Some of the songs which didn't quite connect with me on the album actually found a new place in my heart when Harry Nilsson sings them.
Well, that's the thing, because Harry Nilsson has a really strong songwriting style, particular harmonies that he really likes to go to a lot. All this music sounds so Harry Nilsson, but then when it starts singing, you're expecting Harry Nilsson's beautiful pop voice, and instead you get Robin Williams going, "Oh, Harry Nilsson was a great storyteller. A lot of his lyrics were really stupid, but they're all stupid in kind of a fun, creative, zany way. And he must be doing the lyrics on this because it has a similar inanity. This album is really inane in a good and a bad way. A good example is the song He's Large.
Olive Oil is singing to Bluto, about Bluto, to us. She's singing to us, I think. And it's kind of a love song, but it's also a song of resignation. Well, he's okay, but he's large. That's kind of what all Bluto has going for him. They do live in a small town, so there's not a lot of bachelors to pick, but Bluto is the largest of them all. There's also a funny line about how he's virile. So if Olive Oil wants some little olive oils running around, Bluto is a um, good one for that. The highlight on the album is one of Olive Oil's songs about Popeye. He Needs Me. It's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful song. He Needs Me. I first heard it in another movie, and I loved it in that movie. And then when I watched Popeye, I couldn't believe my ears when I heard the original in this movie.
In this album that mostly feels like a mess with little garbled asides and songs that don't seem to go anywhere and songs that lyrically repeat the same idea that isn't very interesting. He Needs Me is stuck in the middle of it like a flower blooming in the desert. It's one of the most incredible songs I've ever heard, and it showcases all the best things about Harry Nilsson's songwriting. When you have a melody, you want the melody to feel like it has direction and purpose and like it goes from one place to another. And that He Needs Me melody, he needs me, doesn't just feel like it's moving forward, but it feels like it's moving forward too fast for itself, like it's someone stumbling across their feet. And the final, he needs me, it's like you stumble and then you land. You're moving through this morass of uncertainty and discovery to finally end up in this blooming certainty of love. It's staggeringly beautiful, and Shelley Duvall sings it with passion but with simplicity too. She has a very untrained style of singing voice, kind of reedy, breathy. She's not always perfectly on pitch, but it's also clear as a bell and has just an enormous amount of sincerity and passion behind it. It really makes me wish that Shelley Duvall had done more musicals, because I love her singing. It's an amazing song, and no matter who you are and no matter your level of interest in Popeye, He Needs Me is an essential track. It's so essential that even though I don't love this album, I would say this album should be on your shelf for that track alone.
It's one of the greatest songs of all time.
Did also want to talk about the arrangements. There's like this great reverby bass bloom, bloom, that creates that sort of dreamy, romantic ballroom dancing atmosphere that it has. There's some other nice touches on the album. There's an accordion on the song Sweet Haven, and that song is probably my second pick for second best song. It feels a little more subdued. It feels a little less chaotic and confused, and it has that really nice mellow accordion that ties it all together and makes it feel homey. It sort of gives it a seaside flair. I will say I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the drumming. It puts you in mind of the drummer in a church band, in like a community church. It feels hokey and kind of confined. The exact opposite of that sort of flowing, dreamy feeling that He Needs Me gives you. It's almost like terrible early hip-hop. I'm so-and-so, and I'm here to say. Very rhythmically confined, and when you have this sort of lame, nerdy drum beat, the result makes you feel kind of embarrassed.
I don't really know what you're talking about there. I think most of the songs are pretty good. I do also love Sweet Haven. I also really like Blow Me Down, which is the song that plays when Popeye first gets into town. Just a real happy beat. Blow me down. That's one that really shined when I heard the Harry Nilsson version. Felt very natural with his voice, and then it translates beautifully to Popeye's as well. And there's I Mean. It's kind of the other simple one. Also a Bluto song. He's large and he's mean. Those are kind of Bluto's two traits. And those are probably the two like kind of dumb, simple songs. But, you know, they're cartoony. It's Popeye. Totally works. There's a part of it where he's like, I'm so mean, I beat myself up. And then there's the song Popeye's dad sings, Kids, which is kind of one of the vocal misses. It just sounds like inane chatter from an old man, but the music is really, really cool, and it's this really energetic down 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 down.
Sounds like an angry marching band.
It's a really cool song. Yeah, I love the Popeye movie, love the soundtrack.
It's a tough call because I really agree with Jerry when he says that He Needs Me is one of the greatest songs ever, but the rest of the album I could pretty much take or leave. Harry Nilsson has better work, so let's not kid ourselves.
I'd give it a 9 out of 10. He Needs Me is one of the best songs of all time, and the rest just grow on you. The movie itself is really, really good too, and I think it enhances the soundtrack once you've seen the movie. So Christian, I would recommend you watching that to get a full view of the album, because you can't really listen to a soundtrack without seeing the source material. You know, the songs fit within a narrative. That's kind of why the songs might feel disjointed to you, but there's actually a very strong love triangle kind of beautiful story going on behind this collection of songs.
Well, I actually think that having not seen the movie, I'm able to judge the album with a greater degree of objectivity, and that your judgment is probably clouded by your idolization of Popeye. But we shouldn't get into it. We've been through enough already this week. If it makes you feel better, I could abstain from my review of the record until I've seen the movie.
Give it a number.
I'll just give it a 5. The best song ever, averaged out with some pretty crappy songs. You give it a 5.
Wasn't expecting such a low number, but yeah, we'll watch the movie and I think you'll come around closer to a 9. Yeah, we gotta move all the stuff back to where it was. Probably gotta change the locks too. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week with Disc Den.